Hello everyone, welcome in next episode. So thank you very much for all your comments regarding the bees and raised beds. So what I want to do today is shape the beds. Also, because this is going to be a no-dig garden, I think it makes sense because I'm not going to cultivate the soil and dig it every year. I'm just going to apply more horse manure on top and compost and everything I'm going to have. So again, you know, it's just going to be easier to maintain this shape of raised bed because they're not going to have wooden borders for now. Right, all the bricks removed, taps as well. As you can see, I have quite a lot of these, and you know, again, bigger bricks in less numbers is way to go, because otherwise you have to shift a lot of small blocks around. What I will do now is put the strings between the poles to see exactly where the bed ends and the path begins, and I will start shaping them. Just want to show you something. The whole shed seems to be blown away by the wind, because I couldn't believe that someone would actually do it. I mean, but just by looking at the windows, you know, there is no glass panes, and we had really strong wind during the weekend. During the last days of the week. So I think that maybe the pressure difference just make this whole shed to collapse. Anyway, if I see the owner of this plot, maybe I'll drop by and try to give a hand. I'm not sure if we can put this all together again. I mean, as you can see, some bits has been broken already. But yeah. Okay, so what we have here is the composted horse manure, which is now more than 6-7 months old, and this was taken from the middle of my huge compost pile that I have on the plot. Here we have the regular compost that you can buy in any shop. What I want to see is how well this horse manure will do against the regular compost in growing small seedlings. Now, I don't expect too much of it, you know, because the horse manure on its own, as you can see, it's still quite lumpy. So we're gonna see how seedlings will do in medium like this. But what I want to see is that if it will work at all, and if so, you know, how fast things will grow in it. So, you know, because it contains some woody bits, and most of the time the horse manure, as far as I heard, is great. But there were situations in the past when it contains some herbicides, or sometimes I've even heard that you know, the lime is being used at the bedding, so this might actually increase the pH a lot, up to 10. But you know, these are just, I treat this more as a myth, or rather something that will happen so occasionally that it's not even worth mentioning. So really what I'm doing this experiment is just to see how it will work, and if I can actually use it as a growing medium for my seedlings in the future. You know, I never grew anything in horse manure, so this will be new for me. Anyway, what we're gonna use as plants is some lupins, clover, mustard and nasturtium. Some spare seeds that I have, which I'm not gonna use too much. Also, the nasturtium seeds are the ones which I've collected last year from my back garden, so at the same time we're gonna see if they are any good. Okay, so the left hand side there is a horse manure. As you can see, it's all lumpy, and it's definitely going to be hard for young seedlings to go through it. And here is the regular compost. So let's see how it will work. Alright, so this is 1 week after I sow all these plants, and on the left side you have horse manure, and the multipurpose compost is on the right. As you can see, the mustard and clover are doing well in both. We also have some nasturtium and lupins starting to grow as well. And multipurpose compost is doing much better than horse manure so far. Maybe there is a bit more nitrogen in it. Maybe also the soil structure is much better. You know, this is lumpy, so plants have harder time to go through it. But so far both works fine. And you know, I'm just gonna keep you updated how it goes in the following weeks. Okay, so we are here on the next early morning, Sunday morning, and what you can see behind me is what I managed to do yesterday.
and I was quite happy, although I realized one thing, that I was putting a lot of roots of the soil that didn't decompose. So, you know, in last episode I told you that that not much of it left, but to be honest, I think it's quite a bit. So basically I got caught up with work too much yesterday, and I didn't notice how much of these roots I actually am putting on the top of the beds. And that's what it happens sometimes, because whenever I come I have like 2-3 hours of work, and I'm only here twice a week, so I'm rushing too much sometimes and don't notice things like that. Well, anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I will go through the pass and try to use the fork and remove as many weeds that are still left there as possible before I'm gonna use this soil to put it on the top of the beds. Then what I will do is go through all the beds that I already made, and I will go literally through every inch and try to remove as many roots as I can see from under the soil and the top. Okay, so this is how much roots I got only from one. Also, what I'm doing here is not throwing all this stuff on the skip. You know, I had a comment from Richard lately, and he's saying that he's decomposing everything, including bindweed. So I thought, you know, I don't have hot compost now, but what I can do actually is just throw all these roots on the pile of sod that I have here, and then cover it with something and see if this will eventually decompose. Right, so I shaped all the beds, quite a lot of work, but finally it's done. And what I still need to do is remove a lot of weeds from the surface. You see, I have all this stuff is the roots that didn't decompose under the soil for last 7 months. Also, what you might see is that we have this brown layer of compost underneath the soil. So what I end up with is soil, compost, and then the soil with roots and with perennial weeds. Small accident. Unfortunately, my camcorder fell down with all this tripod, and this bit, you know, got broken. But I still have it, so I will try to attach it next time. Anyway, I still underestimate the winds that we have here. You know, I even put the old shovel spade here, and it still didn't help. Right, so I managed just to do these 2 beds. And it took me 1 hour and a half. You know, but I just had to literally go through every inch of this with a trowel. What surprised me about it is that was really pleasant experience. You know, the birds singing, working with the soil. So I decided to take my time and do it properly, remove as many weeds as I could. I'm gonna leave those beds like that for now, because the tarps are not tall and not wide enough to cover the whole bed. So I'm just gonna leave them for a week to go down a bit and probably cover them with the compost and tarps next week, but yeah, we will see. Anyway, forgot to mention, if there is a rain, it's not generally a good idea to work with the soil, and especially in autumn when the whole soil is soggy. But because I have quite a lot of sand in this soil, it might be even 40% or even more. You know, I just decided to give it a go, and I hope that it will not destroy the soil structure. As far as I can see, it's fine. So that's gonna be it for this weekend. Enjoy your week, guys, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye.